Women, we just crave happy. We want our lives to be light and joyful, but some days more than others can feel like a battle. My next guest wants to help you reclaim your happiness. He believes all it requires is a little bit of soul searching. Studio 5 relationship contributor Dr. Matt Townsend joins me to explain. Matt, you were inspired by a quote, and I'm going to read it just so everybody's on the same page. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself and your way of thinking.
Yeah, Marcus Aurelius.
Yes, why did that strike you so much?
Because we've got everything.
Yeah.
We've got money, we've got more money than ever, we've got more abilities, more technology, we've got all these things, and we're still not happy. And the problem is because we're looking for it outside of us, and the answer's not outside of us. It's all in our head. It's what we think. It's because our thinking leads to feeling leads to action, action leads to what you're becoming. So if you want to change it, quit looking everywhere for it, and instead let's go in and just start trying to tweak our thinking a little bit.
I actually love this. I think it really is prevalent in our world today because we live in this excess. So we want to stop getting in our own way of our happiness. You have 4 reminders, and the first one is your reaction matters more than what happened to you.
Yeah, when we have something happen to us, we get so caught up in what happened and why that happened and why you let that happen, and then we fight about all these little details, but the real issue isn't in your happiness, isn't about what happens to you. It's actually about what you do with what happens. Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, it's how you react to it that matters most. And how you react really determines a lot, because listen to this, this is why we need to read, this is why we need to study. Never let someone's nastiness implicate us in their ugliness. So if someone's nasty to us, and it's all about how I react. If I react to their nastiness, then I become part of the ugliness. But if I don't react, then I don't have to mourn my mistakes. I don't have to be mad that we had that fight that caused this, and instead I'll blame them for it, but half of the fight's gonna be mine. So what if we could just notice the situation, and then the key to the Stoics is always figure out what you can control. There's always stuff you can control about what was said or what was done, and there's stuff you can't control. And the only thing to ever worry about is what you can control. And you have 100% control over what you say in response, or how you react in response to someone's meanness.
It's like that Eleanor Roosevelt quote when she says, no one can make you inferior without your consent.
That's right, you have to let them in.
You have to let them in.
It's the reaction. And by the way, that gives you power in your life, right? Because now I'm not reacting to everything. I now am a force, an empowered force in my life. Powerful.
You control what comes in.
Exactly.
Okay, next is you don't always need to have an opinion.
Isn't that the weirdest thought?
I know.
You don't always have to have an opinion.
We're talkers, Matt.
I know. And by the way, the opinion is your brain's way of thinking you have some control over something. So you can have an opinion. I have an opinion about if that light is red or green. But if you notice, it doesn't matter what your opinion about the light is. It's going to be what it is, right? Listen to this quote by Marcus Aurelius. You always have an option of having no opinion, right? There is never any need to get worked up or trouble your soul about things you can't control. These things are not asking to be judged by you. Leave them alone. If you have an opinion about who your 25-year-old child is dating, that's good for you. You have no control over it. So your mind wants to have an opinion about that weird guy. She's so much better than that guy. Your opinion's irrelevant unless you have influence over it. So a lot of us have an opinion and then we immediately try to control. And once you're trying to control other people with your opinion, it sets you up. So you're really only as healthy as your list of opinions. So the faster you start getting rid of some of them, the happier and healthier you are.
And nobody wants to be lectured.
No.
I think sometimes our opinions can come out very strong.
Yeah.
So when we're kind of taming those down, it comes from like a place of love, and it means more.
And how much more does it mean when someone's asked for your opinion?
Oh, that's so true.
But if you have one and you're giving it, you'll usually see you're not going to get much follow through.
I mean, that makes sense. Your next point actually speaks to the woman who worries, which might be all of us. So how does worrying get in the way of our happiness?
Watch out for the illusion of worry. There's an illusion that if you worry, it's somehow helping you. If you plan ahead to worry about something that hasn't happened yet, you're somehow have an advantage by doing that.
I'm so guilty of this.
And Seneca straightened us out. He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary. This world is difficult enough. We don't need to suffer for things we don't need to suffer for. So let's just wait till we need the suffering, then suffer. Instead, let's use our mind to actually identify what does worry me, and then what can I do in my circle of influence about it to make something happen about it. There's power there.
There's power there. And finally, explain this last idea: criticize another's fault only after relating to it.
Yeah. Most of us just critique somebody, but you don't know how much hypocrisy I hear in my office with people beating each other up, but they're all doing the same thing to each other.
Right.
So Marcus Aurelius said, whenever you are about to find fault with somebody, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I'm about to criticize? And if you can go relate to your fault and are clear what your fault is that's closest to this one, and be clear about it. And then you know what I would do? In the conversation, own it. If you're going to go critique someone else's, stupid, moment of saying something rude, identify where you've done it, and then relate to them. And what this does is it humanizes people.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
The minute you humanize the person you're arguing with or debating with or have issue with, they're no longer a demon, right? Now they're a human. And when two humans get together, we're happier. We don't have to fear and fret and be angry at the person like our child. We'll demonize our child, we'll demonize our spouse, we demonize our neighbors, when in reality, they're just like us. We're all alike.
And that humanizing, I think it comes back to that humility you can feel in yourself, and then you can extend it.
That's right, exactly.
It's so
then
good.
You give the grace.
Marcus Aurelius, he came through for us
Those
today.
darn Stoics.
He came through with that so good.
Yeah.
Exciting announcement. I feel like I should drum roll.
We should need a drum roll for this.
Okay. Everyone can now buy tickets for Matt's Valentine's date night. We're so excited.
And this is going to be a really good one. I'm going to take the entire group and we're going to give you, we're going to do a coaching session.
Okay.
And we're going to have you immediately start working on specific things in your relationship to start to turn them and make them better.
Okay.
So they will leave immediately with some tools. So here's the key.
All right.
February 8th is when we're doing it.
February
it's at
8th.
7 p.m. at Olympus High School. And we have a date night code just for Studio 5.
Yeah.
20 date night is the code. Just go enter 20 date night in on the site. Get your friends, bring your family, bring those kids of yours that are struggling. Get everyone that you love there, and we're going to have a life-changing marriage event.
It's the
February
best event.
Date
It's
nights.
so
They're the very
great.
best.
Matt's the best. Thanks,
Caitlin.
Matt.